and then how long it goes is how long it goes. Okay. So let me start the screen share. Share window. Okay, tell me when you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Alright, so Zed versus Echo. This is actually a very, very volatile matchup. Can definitely go both ways. If you can force out his ultimate before using yours, you win. If he forces out your ultimate with his up, then you usually lose if he times it properly.
Yeah.
Pre-6, it's not really much of a lane. If he's playing the lane properly, he'll just spam Q on it, and you won't be able to do anything. Um, this is an
Yeah,
accident, yeah.
Echo was pretty trash. He ulted when he ulted way too early, so my ult still went off like after he ulted
Okay.
multiple times. So
Okay. I was about to say you forgot your pot. So,
yeah.
okay. So as far as lane goes, I think Longsword and Dorn Shield are both fine. I think after the nerf to Dorn Shield, it's probably better to do Longsword because the way Echo ideally should be playing the matchup is that he isn't really trying to hit you with Q. He's kind of just if he's throwing Q, it's at the wave, and if he's trading with you, he's starting with E into Q, and he's trying to get his passive off. So it's
Yeah.
trades where you just want sustain. If he starts something like Dark Seal or Doran's Ring, because he has TP, he can just trade with you over and over, and then TP back. And if you have Doran Shield, you don't sustain enough because the way his trades go is it's very all in heavy, right? It's not against.
Hmm.
It's not like someone who runs like Deathfire Touch or like Cassidon who he just queues you over and over, and your Doran Shield heals up on you all the time, right? A lot of his
Yeah.
trades he's going to be looking for E into Q, proc passive, and that's like 200, 300 health, right? You can only pot for that one time. Whereas if you have
Okay.
Longsword, you do more damage and you have more pots to sustain through the lane. So yeah,
So I usually go refillable longsword. Is that
um,
bad?
I think that's very dependent on the lane. I think if it's against someone
Okay.
who like you dictate the trades, where it's like they don't have like a lot of wave clear, you're going to be shadowing them over and over for combos. Then I think it's fine. But against a lane like Echo, where like he's going to trade aggressively with you a lot, and also he has TP, so like
Yeah.
he's going to sustain. Then I wouldn't go. I wouldn't greed for the refill. Like you can buy it second buy, but it's really greedy on the first buy because if you have a like if you like it's happened to you. I'm sure it's happened to you before. Like either you like take a really bad trade or you get ganked and you have to take a really bad recall. You just like
All the
lose
time.
out so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, right. And
I feel like my problem is I get like camped so much, and I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's my positioning and my map awareness. I don't know. That's
okay,
my main issue with laning.
so the thing about mid lane is that for starters, like if you know where the jungler is, it's pretty difficult for you to get yanked in mid lane. It's kind of different than other lanes. And the thing is,
Yeah.
pretty much every jungler in solo queue. This is actually so. What's your secondary role actually?
Well, that's another issue. I play way too many roles. I play AD carry. I play every role but support really. So, but
Uh,
I'm working on just mid and jungle. Those are my main two I'm working on right now.
okay, that's actually a really good combo. Um, as far as like jungle goes, like if you played it, like then you should know. Pretty much every jungler does this cookie cutter route, right? You start bot side, you get a leash, you do wolves, you do red, you look for a gank, right? Pretty simple. Most people do that. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll do rafters
I don't
instead.
do that, but yeah.
Sometimes people will do gromp and stuff, but like just in general, like most people are gonna do this, right?
Yeah.
Both junglers are doing this right now. So
Yeah.
if you learn like basically there's a timer. It's like 3 minutes, 3:15. They'll end on the opposite side of where they started, right? And all you need to
Hmm.
do is you hug one side of the lane, you know. And if they come for you, so like let's do an example situation, right? Let's say you're right here in this pocket, okay? You're
Uh-huh.
right here. Let's say the lane is like right there. If a Mumu comes in the top side and he comes through here or he comes through here, what's gonna happen? You just walk away, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to do. Like once like around like 3 minute 3:30, you know that like they're pretty much guaranteed gonna come from like one side. You'll know which side it is if you're just thinking about like what the jungler does, right? Because there's a very
Yeah.
limited amount of what he can do, and you'll know if he started bottom or not based on when bot lane gets to lane. If you're paying attention to that too, so you have a good 3 minute to like 3 minute 3:30 like when you know which side he's going to come from, so you just play to the opposite side so you can't get ganked. And then
Yeah.
after that, you put your ward down on one of his camps, either rafters or like walls, or even you put it like right here if you have the time to walk all the way over. You see if he walks to Gromp. Then you see him one more time, and then you play to the other side. And then after that, that's done. Your ward's out, your next ward's up, and you do the same thing. So
Gotcha.
um, playing aggressive is fine. Playing aggressive is actually what you should do because when you fuck up playing aggressively, you learn more than if you just play passive and you don't learn your limits that way. That's fine. As far as like getting ganked though, like it's actually very simple in solo queue. In lower, just like lower, like I'm talking like below D1, where people do like the same route most of the time. And I'm saying even in like D1 and stuff, a lot of people will do the same like red, wolves, blue,
Yeah.
whatever route, and just gank. And just playing in pockets, like the pocket away from like where the gank is coming, that will get you out of a lot of ganks. You know, sometimes you'll still die to like some random ass like I don't know, Jarvan starts blue, comes to mid level 2 because you're hugging one
Yeah,
side. That
that's mainly what
happens.
happens to me all the time.
I mean, if that
Stupid
happens,
cheese shit.
it happens, and like most
Yeah.
champions aren't even able to do that. Like a Mumu cannot really like level 2 gank you, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like if you're afraid of that being a thing, then you kind of just you ward for it early, and you know.
Yeah.
But like even then, like the amount of games that's gonna happen is like so few. Like that if it does happen, you kind of just say like, well, it happens, you move on. So yeah.
I do that every time when I'm playing jungle. It's so
Okay.
cheese.
So let me just rewind back to the beginning of the lane. Just want to get. Wow, did it really freeze? Wow, that's a record time. Oh, okay. That's record speed for replay freeze. I don't think I've ever had a
Feels
freeze like
bad,
this.
man.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's another issue. I just don't think about a lot of my decisions that I make. I just do it.
Yeah, autopiloting is a very real problem. Um, as far as like, there's no good like answer to like how to stop autopiloting. What the thing I'll tell people most of the time is the best way to stop it is just pretend you're like one of those like informative streamers and you just explain everything you do. And if you're explaining everything you do, then you're a lot less
Yeah.
likely to autopilot. It sounds kind of dumb and it might feel kind of dumb the first
Well,
times you do it.
it makes sense, like completely.
Yeah, but yeah, like it's a good way to get over it. Like I've
Yeah.
never just because I've played on teams for a long time and I've always been like kind of vocal shot caller kind of dude. I've never really been the type of dude to just like fall to autopilot because I just in general I talk aloud about what I'm doing
Yeah.
often. So
You have to screen share again.
oh yeah, I'm retarded. My bad. Forgot about that. Share window. There.
The main thing I want to learn from this game though is like because I was super fed and shit. I was like 15-3 or some stupid shit like that.
Okay.
I just don't know why or what I did that lost us the game.
Okay. Keep that in
Because I
mind.
have these games all the time where I fucking destroy lane and then I just lose because I don't know.
So first thing is you should be walking up faster to the wave, especially in a lane like this where pushing for the level 2 is really important. Because if he hits level 2 and you're level 1, you're fucked. Like you're just gonna get destroyed in a trade. And
Yeah.
it's not exactly the same vice versa, but at the same time you just want to be level 2 so you have the pressure. So immediately you should be front and center, like on the wave, right when it like even before it hits, throwing the first Q. Because you know like he's gonna get to lane, he's gonna throw Q at the wave. Like that's what every echo does, or what every
Yeah.
echo should do. If he doesn't, then you win the lane anyway. But like if he does, you want to have that Q thrown ASAP, so you stop the push as much as possible.
That's why I think I did. Yeah, I queued the back wave.
It's better to just sit right where you were earlier and just throw it through and hit the most.
That's true. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Than just hit the back. Okay, so yeah, like you don't want to at the early point in the game. The CS isn't as important as pushing for 2. Like in that case, it's better to just like if you miss the last hit on it, throw your it does just take the L and throw the shuriken and get the most of the wave because that's more important than missing the early CS. Because it sets you up for lane dominance and like sets you up for like potential first blood or like you get to roam, maybe find your jungler, etc. etc. You're not getting punished for it because this idiot threw Q to the side, but like it's something you can do to get advantage. Like when people do that, you want to be able to punish like fully. Like this guy is like.
I told you it's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how that Q hit me. Like
the return hitbox is a lot bigger than the exit hitbox.
Okay.
So yeah. So next minion's gonna hit level 2 here. Okay. So you need. Yeah, see, he's not punishing you for the level 2. If he was, he could have punished you way more than he did. And this is the kind of the thing I was talking about earlier, where if you have longsword here, like you can just pot up and keep trading. Whereas like because you're Doran's shield now, after this pot ends and you get traded on one more time, you can't step up anymore.
So, do you think for level 2 melee you should get
E,
E,
yes, definitely E,
and then
definitely E.
range? Do you always get E, or range you should get W?
Range you get W, melee you get E.
Okay,
That should be like pretty much every time. If it's like a melee matchup where like you can't step up, like maybe they playing like some troll
like
shit mid,
yes.
like Aurelia or like even
Uh,
against Yasuo, I'd say you probably take E because you can poke off his shield with it. But
yeah.
most of the time in melee E, range W for sure. Oh,
That's why I hate teleport.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
win the trade and they just backs and TPs.
yeah. That's part of like part of the thing though. Like he knows he can trade
Yeah.
because he has TP, so you have to respect that. Which is why like if you had longsword right now, you'd be out of pots, but you'd be like healthy now. But now he's gonna TP back and you're in a bad spot, right? Because this is the thing. Like yes, this guy is playing the lane. Like he traded awfully, right? You saw
Yeah.
it, I saw it. But the thing is like because you didn't get as much of an advantage as you should have because you weren't pushing properly and because you didn't respect the fact that he has TP and you started Dawn Shield and traded that way, you're now going to be behind him, despite the fact
Wow.
that he's
I just realized I saw Moo on the map. I didn't fucking realize. God damn it. I looked at him too. Wait, what? Oh my god, that's
yeah.
sad.
So this is actually
Wow.
a really bad scenario for you now. Like
Yeah.
you can't stay. Like you have to just take the L and just go back because
I don't
staying
know
here,
why, but I didn't see a Moo. I don't understand how I missed it. I looked right at him.
yeah. Even if you don't see a Mumu here though, it's like really scary to stay because this guy's got corrupting potion now. He started Dark Seal. He finished corrupting on the
Yeah.
teleport. It's like you're in a position where you can't farm. So this is a thing that's like pretty much going to be true like 99% of the time. If you're too low to the point where you can't step up and farm, just go back. Like you might miss some EXP, you might shove the wave to your turret, you're gonna miss some, but you're in a position where you'll never ever have lane priority. Like if you're staying at this health, you can't step up and top. If he wants to push the wave, you can't do anything about it, right?
Yeah.
And if he pushes the wave, he gets to roam. Or if the jungler's there, you're getting dove, and guess what? You're gonna lose it anyway. It's just better to go back, refill on HP, and then
Yeah.
come back with items, and then you can start trading again. You can start trying to get lane priority, and if you have lane priority, then you can roam, and you don't have to worry about oh, if a Mumu's here, I'm getting dove like every time, like
Yeah.
every
I was
single
myself for
time.
not seeing
Yeah.
the Amumu, but the plus is I got both flashes, so
Yep.
it was not bad, but still.
Okay. So you just bought a long sword. You got like 550 gold here, 540, 530, 550-ish. So yeah, just longsword refill here. There's not another buy. Okay, good. Speed it up. So oof, no cannon wave. You're gonna miss a lot of minions here. But yeah. If you had backed earlier, oh shit, I did jump back. If you had backed earlier, the wave wouldn't
Yeah.
have stacked to this point. You wouldn't have missed as much, even though you died. Like as
Yeah.
far as like missing a Mumu, like there's no point in talking about it. Like you know it's a mistake. You move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you gotta be really careful of the return hitbox. It's way bigger than the outwards hitbox.
Yeah, I realized that this game, I was like, okay, wow, it's pretty fucking big.
Yeah. So against a champion who kind of just wants to spam spells on the wave, something that's really important to learn to do is you want to stand to the side and you want to make him pick like he was earlier between hitting you with the spell or hitting the wave with the spell.
Yeah.
Because the way your champion works, you can hit him with the spell and like shove the wave at the same time, but he can't, and a lot of mages can't do that. So
So
get in the habit
go.
of standing like just right here. Instead of right
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
just stand right here. If he wants to trade with you, then you trade back. If he wants to throw the wave, throw his Q at the wave, you could trade with him at the same time, and he can't trade back because he's throwing it at the wave. You want to make him pick between the two. The worst thing
Okay.
you can do is let him get both at the same time, and that happens when you sit behind your wave. Against mages
Gotcha.
like that, you don't want to sit behind your wave. It's kind of weird because like I'm sure like when you were a lot of people when they were like learning to play the game, they're like always stand behind your minions, etc. But like
Exactly.
that's not always the case. It's actually not the case a lot in middle lane. Like if you're playing against Blitzcrank bottom, yeah, stand behind your fucking creeps. But if you're playing against like shove mage middle, don't ever stand with your creeps. Like same thing happens. Same concept when you're playing against like Jace or like Ari and stuff. You know, you don't want to get hit by. You don't want to let her push the wave at the same time as you're getting harassed. Like you want to make a pick
Yeah.
between the two, especially if you're a champion who can do both at like the same time, kind of.
Okay.
Okay. So just forcing you off
He
here.
was really aggressive.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
so do you think I should have wasted ignite for the kill or just?
No, that's fine. Because now you can kill him yourself with summoners. Only in that case, it's not worth it because you can kill him with your summoners. You're not so far behind that like you can't just kill him yourself.
Yeah.
If it's a point in the lane where like you need to kill, then go ahead use your summoners. But it's not at that point yet. You're not really that far behind, despite what happened earlier. So there's no need to. Because you basically you shouldn't have kill pressure on him if your sums are down, right? So like holding onto your
Yeah.
sums means like you still have that kill pressure on him, and he flashed on you earlier. So now you have EXP lead and you have summoner lead. So it should be pretty easy for you to convert that into a kill, or at least convert that into like a lane advantage, if not a kill. So I don't agree with this roam here, and I'll tell
Yeah.
you, yeah, because this wave
I
like
stopped halfway.
yeah, not even the fact that you stop halfway, but it's because of the
Yeah.
fact that like you can shove this for free and further your EXP advantage because this guy he's not gonna make it back to lane in time and he doesn't have TP. If he has TP, I say it's fine to go for this, but because he doesn't have TP, you can shove it into the tower for free and you don't miss out on any XP because. Like if he has TP, then he's burning a summoner for it, but you're kind of just letting him get this wave for free by walking when he doesn't have TP, especially because of the fact that this isn't like a guaranteed gank as well
Yeah.
because you don't have your 6 yet.
My thought for that was I didn't want to take too much damage from the Amumu because I would lose half my health if he had a Q on me since he had red. He could just walk me down the lane, auto.
Well, you can play in a way that he won't be able to do that, and
Yeah.
if he does do that, then he's hampering his own clear as well. So okay.
Don't know what that Q was.
So just a echo specific thing, whenever you got 2 stacks of the passive on you, make sure you don't walk up for a trade because when he hits passive on you, it's basically impossible to trade back because of the movement speed
Yeah.
he gets. So be very careful of that. You've not been stepping up when you have 2 stacks on you normally, so it's good. So the best time to trade is actually when he hits E on you, because after he uses his E, he's got nothing to get away from you anymore. Aside from ult it, but he's not 6 yet. So whenever he uses his E, that's like basically your free chance to trade on him.
Yeah. I mean, the wave was pretty big though.
I mean like just like a short trade, just like QE auto, just back up, because
Okay.
he can't really do anything about that, especially when his Q is down too. Okay, just farming out here. Okay, yeah. You use your pots a little late there. As soon as you're missing the HP, just use the pots. You want to be healthy as possible at all times, especially if you don't know where the jungler is. Okay, so you have EXP lead here, just by a little bit. I don't know if you identified that in the moment of the game, but when you're this close to 6, obviously I don't expect you to know how much EXP he has, but you should know that you have some sort of lead. So in a case like this, where you're really close to 6, your focus should be pushing, getting the 6 off the minions as fast as possible, and then just all-inning him when he's 5. Because this is like one of the best pockets in the lane for you to get a huge advantage. But unfortunately, he walks back into the lane and trades on you there, and basically you guys hit 6 at the same time. So this goes back to earlier though. If you had shoved that wave into the turret and he
Yeah.
missed like any minions, you would have hit the 6 before him here. And when he goes in on you there, you hit 6 and you just kill him because he just committed all of his spells to you for a trade, and you're ready for an all-in because you have ultimate. Like EXP advantage in middle is like huge because almost every mid lane champion has a high impact ultimate for all-ins. Okay, so now you're in not a great position. You're out of pots. His summoners are coming back up, and he's got an HP lead on you with his 6. So at this point, you kind of just want to farm under turret when it comes to you, and then wait for a gank like this.
Yeah. Again, I saved everything I had.
Yep, just let your jungler kill him. Perfect. And just push the lane. Okay, so there's a small, once you shove this lane and go back, hopefully you go back, you'll have a small pocket of time in the lane where you can all-in him when his ultimate's down. And you have summoners still, so that's really good for you.
No, I'm pretty sure I go top and get a kill.
Okay. Let's see. Do you go right now? Ooh. So I really don't like this roam, and I'll tell you why. One, he's got TP backup, so he can counter you if he wants. Two, you're sitting on a bunch of gold. I don't even have to look, and I already know you have more than half your
Yeah.
net worth on you. So the thing is, you might get this kill, but the thing is, you have to. By the time you go up and kill him, Echo will be back in lane, right? And then he's already back in lane, and you haven't channeled recall yet. So you're gonna start channeling recall, and he'll have the wave shoved into your turret, and then he can go for a counter roam on you. So like, it's not like because of the fact that like it's solo queue, like people aren't going to like follow pings all the time. The fact that like you go for this kill, but then he shoves the wave, he can just as easily go kill bottom, and then your kill not only becomes invalidated basically, but you also lose a minion. You lose a wave of minions or more under the turret.
Okay.
Because you have to back right now, right? Basically, like regardless if you get this kill or not, you have to back, right? You have too much gold on you to stay. Because if you walk back into the lane, like let's say this you go up for this gank and whether you get it or not, you walk back to lane. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get destroyed, right? So that's why at this point you just take the back. It's not worth it, even if you get this kill, really. Well, I'll actually say it this way: it's worth it if you get the kill, but it's not a play that's reliable because it's got so many factors in play. Because sometimes maybe you get outplayed, you don't get the kill, or maybe it's a 1-for-1 and it ends up not being worth it. Maybe he kills him himself and you don't get an assist, and he can also make a response play. There's a high chance he can make a response play. Whereas like the safer thing to do is you take the back right now, you come back with like serrated dirk and a longsword or whatever, you walk in the lane, you have level 6, he doesn't have his ultimate, you have ignite, you just kill him, right? That's a guaranteed play basically, as long as like because the only variables there are just your mechanical skill, which is like you might fuck it up, but like there's no variables at play.
And
outside
also,
of
I
your
mean, I
skill.
did look at his deaths. He has a 0-2 deaths, and
Yeah.
so hasn't died, so he's worth more. But yeah, does make sense that
Yeah.
if I didn't get the kill, then it'd be terrible for me.
Yep. So you get the kill, you get the. It's actually really good for you because you get the ultimate AD off Yasuo too. Help Gragas push the lane, and your jungler makes the correct play in holding mid for you. So it ends up going okay. And I'm not saying you don't ever roam, but I'm just saying there's better opportunities you'll have to roam most
Pretty sure he
times.
kills him here.
Yeah, he might actually. Yeah, he's got red buff.
Yeah, he does.
So that's really
No,
good.
he auto attacks the ward. I forgot. He auto
Yeah.
attacks the ward instead of fucking Echo.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so let me just check your gold when you recalled. I'm pretty sure this is you're just rushing Yomu's pretty fine.
Yeah.
1865, 750. Yep, that's fine. Nothing wrong here. The only thing you can maybe do differently is you get Dirk double longsword boots instead, but I think Warhammer is fine too. It's kind of just a matter of preference. Honestly, I'd probably if you like roaming, I'd say just get boots double longsword instead of the Warhammer, but it's really not a big difference in the long run.
I usually don't roam as much, but this game, the Yasuo just always was super aggressive, so I just found an opening. Got, I think, 4 kills off Yasuo. Just roaming, so.
Take what you're given. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so wave reset here because Hecarim caught it and then Echo had to go back because I fought. That's really weird. Okay, so you've got this habit now that I'm seeing. It's not actually good to do that on the back wave.
Yeah.
It's just better to just throw it straight in a line.
Yeah.
You can throw it straight in a line and then you can walk up and eat the back wave and just auto them all once. But like, you can basically, if you throw the Q from here and you hit them all and then you walk up and E the back wave like you do, they still die in one auto, so you just push faster. Like they're all gonna die in E1 auto with Q. So there's no need to do that. And it also puts you like kind of in a weirder position because you walk up forward to do it. You can just throw it from the back and be safe. It's a good habit to get into. Okay. So lane's pushed here, so you're looking for a roam.
Yeah, I roamed a lot on this, yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, the reason I do that back wave thing is just a satisfying thing. It sounds dumb, but it's just like, kill 3 backs, it's satisfying, I don't know. Sounds stupid, but I don't know, shit.
So, this kid's really awkward. Gragas is like dead. Oh wow, he didn't get ult off.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he didn't have ult. Okay, that's really weird. So let's help Gragas push away. So it's actually not too bad, but okay, so what you should be doing is whenever you go for a run like this,
He ulted Gragas earlier.
whenever you go for a run like this, back ping your bot lane. Like, back ping your bot lane over and over and over the second your mid laner leaves the lane. It's actually super important, because this roam, the main loss of this roam is, there's 2 things you lose. You lose your minions, and you lose mid lane pressure. Mid lane pressure is fine to lose because you're trading the pressure somewhere else, right? You're pressuring top. In exchange, you're giving up any potential pressure on bottom because like you can't counter the echo, right? So all you need to do is backping your bot lane 10 times, and if they die, then it's their fault. And they will die. Like, they're probably dead right now, honestly. But like at that point, it's out of your control. But it is in your control to ping them, and you really should ping them. So at least
Yeah.
they know. Like it's very very important actually.
I think I did that later in the game, but this time I don't think I did.
Yeah,
But yeah,
your first two you haven't been, but like yeah, it's actually a really important thing to do
yeah,
because yeah, just people are blind. Like you could say like argue like yeah they should know like if we're talking about like League of Legends in like its purest form, like yeah, like as soon as like one person makes a play on the other side of the map, the other side of the map should naturally play safe, but it's solo queue. No one's ever gonna do that unless you pick them.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
like you have to adapt to the environment.
yeah, I
And
definitely should have pinged that.
And yeah, like the other thing you lose is the minions, but if you're getting the kill and you're shoving the wave with them, then you don't really lose anything there. So all you need to do is make sure you ping the enemy. I mean, ping your bot lane because they clearly have no idea right now.
Yeah. What?
Okay, so we'll go back to mid lane here. You don't have to buy yet. You have a decent amount of gold. You have your moves on base, but you don't need to back yet. It's not like before when you had like literally more than half of the gold you've made in the game like sitting on you. So walking over to this dragon here. You have full vision. Echo's coming into you here.
This basically where the game was won and then we lost.
What?
Me and Gragas make a pretty fucking sick place. So how do you think? Here, watch it and then tell me how you think I played that. If I
Yeah.
played that wrong or right.
So for this is a really long game. Every single team fight, I'll just watch it full speed, and then we'll talk about it in half speed afterwards. So for the starters, I really don't like how you use the shadow here. Don't waste your shadow like this.
Yeah.
Just because
As soon as I did that, I was like, wow, this
Yeah.
is terrible.
you can put so much pressure just holding onto your shadow because like when you have your shadow up, like you can dictate like how you fight him. But as soon as your shadow's down, as soon as he walks into you with E and like hits passive on you, you can't respond in any meaningful way with your
Yeah.
ultimate down. Your ultimate's up, but like you can't. Obviously, you shouldn't be ulting if his ult's up. So don't waste your W. Just in general, it's just even more so against Echo because as soon as it's down, he can kind of trade with you however he wants, like he does here. Like
Yeah.
he's down a level and HP on you, and he trades with you like this because you use your shadow in a way that you can't respond. Okay. So fight continues here. So Gragas TP's in, Hecarim's dead here. Dragon's pulled. So for starters, like as soon as you see the situation, the last thing you want to do is try to hit the dragon because it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna get smited. So you know, like
Exactly.
if you're here, you want to go on them. So priority target one should be a Mumu, just because if he's dead, then you don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to worry about the
Yeah.
dragon. So that's number one, and obviously priority target number two is Caitlyn. And Lulu, you kind of just play off of how the others play because she's not obviously does some damage, but not the main damage threat. These
Yeah.
two are the ones that you need to worry about. So your
I
shadow
went for
is
Kate
yeah.
because I saw an opening. She was split, and
Yeah.
I could one-shot her with the ulti.
Yeah, it's good, really good recognition, especially on any champion. Obviously, it's a bit even more important on assassins. As soon as someone splits, it's good to separate them out. Pretty normal combo here. One more auto, and then you ult someone else. The only
I should
really
have ulted a Mumu there, probably.
Yeah, definitely should have ulted a Mumu. Aside from that, though, not that big a deal. Gragas, good flash here, saves you, so it ends up not mattering as much. But yeah, aside from that, not really much else to change about that. It's well played. Just ult a Mumu instead because he's a bigger priority target there than Lulu.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very fun.
Oh, Echo just left him to die. Feels bad.
Okay, so I'm assuming. Well, you have red buff.
Yeah, we get
pots.
drag.
Yeah,
We
you
get drag.
You can just get dragon here. Oh. Good, standing away on the other side of the dragon, so it turns slower. Good. And your shadow. Okay, yeah. You don't need a W over the wall. There's no threat on you. So just
Yeah.
recall here. Pick up your Yomu's, boots.
I was
and-
holding it though. I was holding the W over the wall.
Yomu's, boots. Oh, boots too. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that in this game. Moo has a lot of CC and needs magic damage as well. Your laner has magic damage. The support's magic damage. Support has hard CC. So yeah, most trades are fine by here. Extra move speed lets you roam too. There's your Youmu's obviously. Pick up a control ward. Really good buy.
Do you think I should have bought a control wood earlier, or?
I actually would have, instead of Warhammer and Dirk, I probably would have went Dirk, double longsword, boots, control word.
Okay, gotcha.
Just because I don't think, like, basically for Warhammer, you're paying 400 gold for 5 AD and 10% CDR. It's like,
Yeah.
is it really worth it? Like, most times, no. So, it's more of like a, if you don't have anything else to buy, you kind of buy it. But because you hadn't bought boots yet there, then, like, I would have just bought boots. Especially because it would have freed up a slot for control word for you as well. Or freed up gold for control word.
I'm mistaking his cues. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what like, if you stand away, like, you don't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine now because I read, but
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine now.
Pretty
Yeah.
bad.
It's fine because you're ahead in the lane, but when you're behind, like, it's something you don't want to deal with.
Terrible. Yeah.
Okay, so they're making a play top lane, so you don't need to do anything really. You can put pressure on him, but okay, that's a good bait.
This is where he ults way too early.
Yeah. Okay, so mechanically
That flash was a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah. So mechanically, this is kind of just a mechanical thing. You don't want to take this W. It's actually better for you to not take the W forward when you get here. I'll just play it in half speed for you.
Yeah, I seem to do that a lot.
Yep.
I take bad trades because I W in.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, the biggest annoyance about Zed is that he trades from a distance. Like, the way Zed Shadow trades work is that you put it out there, and then they're in a spot where they have to, if you don't take your W and the Shadow is sitting there, they have to respect the fact that you can go to your Shadow at any time, hit an auto attack, and then ult them, right? Whereas if you, as soon as you take it, they know, oh, not only is he not mobile anymore, I don't have to, like, and you like, basically you put yourself in front of them and you've used all your cooldowns and you're not mobile anymore, right? Because when you shadow, you use your cooldowns. Most of the time, like, obviously, like, there's some cases you use shadow forward and all that stuff, but, like, generally, like, and in this case, you use all your cooldowns and then you put yourself next to him. So it's like, it's basically you're saying, trade with me, I have nothing up, right? That's not what you want to do. So, in cases where you're, like, baiting and stuff, it's fine. But, like, it didn't look like you were baiting here. Like, your initial thing didn't look like you were trying to bait.
Well, I wanted to all in, but I wasn't really necessarily trying to bait, but I was just trying to all in.
I mean, yeah, you could all in, like, as a little safer than that too, though.
Yeah.
Also, like, because you have blue buff, you have red buff, like, you could have, like, traded, like, one rotation here, and then when the wave comes to the turret, you do it again, and then you try to bait like an all in, or just like when the lane resets, then yeah, like, there are a lot of ways you could have gotten, like, lane advantage here without having to all in, just because you're so ahead already. So taking the all in isn't, like, necessarily bad because you're ahead, but it's like, it's something that you don't need to do, because if you don't all in, he can't win the lane against you anymore, because he just can't handle your harass anymore. He doesn't have armor, you have Youmu's, you have treads. Like, if you just sit there throwing shadow combos at him, there's nothing he can do. And if they come for a gank as soon as your shadow's down, then you just force the all in. But here, you give him, like, the only opportunity he has to do anything in this lane, because he has, like, some sort of, if he outplays your all in, like, I don't think it's plausible for him to kill you, but as long as he survives and he puts you in a position where you can't bully him anymore, then that's not what you want to do, right? Because if you don't all in him here, he has no winning play. But if you do all in him here, he has a chance to survive in the lane. Because, like, obviously, once you use your ultimate, right, you can't all in anymore. But he misplays the all in here. Obviously, you notice it already too by not, like, dodging your ultimate with your ult. But you don't want to like, bank on them misplaying, obviously, right? So yeah, that's
I was a little overconfident.
Yeah, that's the main thing here.
I missed the shuriken. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not gonna get really punished for it because you have pause and double buff and level lead still, but, like, it's just you don't want to put yourself in the position to even, like, consider it, you know, because you have lane control. You don't need to give it up for anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So because he took damage from the ultimate, he's not really healthy enough to stay. He does have TP though, so he's got TP back here. Okay, so this is another situation where you actually have multiple options here. You can roam if you want, and you can reset if you want. Both are fine because you don't have ultimate up. If you have ultimate up, I say you just go roam right now. You have Yomu's, and you have lead. He doesn't have TP to counter your gank anymore. There's no downside to roaming here. But because you don't have ultimate and you have like 750 gold is like it's not a ton, but you can get an item with it. Pick up some long swords or get another control or etc. Like whatever. It's an amount of gold where like it's not a useless back, and you don't
Yeah.
have ultimate to roam anyway. So it's like you have the freedom here. I'm just pausing because I just want you to identify like this is a situation where like you can choose, whereas like before was a situation where like you chose, but it's like it was just like not the better play. But like in this situation, there's like a kind of whatever. Like if you think you can make a play without your ultimate on a side lane, then go. You don't have anything to back for, and you're pretty healthy, and he can't counter you because he has no TP. So like that's fine. But I just want to point out like why the situation was like different from the earlier one.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like you're looking for a bottom roam here. About your control word earlier, that's fine, especially because you were playing more towards roaming towards top. I think that pink's fine. Nothing really to say about that. Well, really good Sona ult. Got here in time with your Yomus. Little aggressive here, but you have treads and they're pretty low. So, fortunately, you didn't have your ult there. Probably would have been a kill if you had it, but not the end of the world. All you lose is a wave here.
Yeah.
Your Hecarim can hold the turret for you too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. When you go roam, try to do it in a time where your jungler can hold your turret for you. Just because if you get if you lose first blood tower, like basically your roam isn't worth it. First blood
Yeah.
turret is like usually more than like 2 kills too, because like the gold is pretty close to 2 kills, but concentrated gold is better than spread out gold, and also the map pressure you get from killing turrets. So this is another thing to keep in mind. When you want to look at your turret HP when you're going for a roam, unless you're playing against someone who can't push the lane in time. Like if you're like playing against someone like Shen or someone who can't like push the lane for shit, then like you don't really have to worry about your turret HP. But if you're playing against Echo who pushes the wave in like 2 spells, then like yeah, you need to worry about your turret HP.
Yeah.
And if your jungler isn't in a position to hold your lane, either because they're too low or the enemy laner is too strong and they'll die if they try to hold, then that should also be a factor when you decide like when you can roam. In this case, it wasn't that big a deal because like realistically, it wasn't really going to kill your turret even if like your jungler wasn't there. But if your turret was a little lower, that's something you should keep in mind because first blood tower gold is insanely important.
Yeah.
Okay, so your jungler is holding your lane, so you go back for a repeat dive here. This is actually really greedy. But if you
Yeah. I know.
if you get first blood turret off here, it's actually completely worth it. You're tunneling on the kills though, whereas like this turret is way more important than these kills. Like if you just walked over here and you took the turret, like that's like you don't need to walk all the way up there to zone them off. Zoning them off was completely fine, but you didn't need to walk to this bush to zone them off. You could have just walked to right here, this line, and then they're backed off the turret, and you just go kill the turret. And now you get first blood turret gold. Perfect. So shove this wave and you go back. You got money for another serrated Dirk, or like Phage. I think
Yeah.
Cleaver's fine here. I think like Dustblade is fine here. If you like
Yeah.
the Tiamat build, I think that's fine too. You're pretty build flexible on Zed in this game.
Yeah, my builds usually if I'm fed, I go Yomu's into Dustblade. If not, I go Black Cleaver after Yomu's.
Okay. I think this is definitely a Black Cleaver game actually, just because like
Well, I always build Black Cleaver, but I build it third or second,
I
depending on how
I'm
fed
saying
I am.
like I think Cleaver is better second here, just because of like
Okay.
how the nature of like the fights are gonna go. Because
Gotcha.
basically like we're already talking about like out of lane phase stuff now, right? Because like lane phase is pretty much it's about to end. Your turret's about to drop, his dropped, that dropped. So basically we're getting to the point where you're going to be splitting a side lane, right? So we're going to look at what will help you win a side lane fight, right? Dustblade, Dustblade isn't bad against Echo. It's actually Dustblade is good against Yasuo because you just one shot Yasuo if you come out of ultimate with it. But it's not so good
Yeah.
against Echo because like Echo, like ideally he's ulting your ultimate, right? So the Dustblade damage isn't it doesn't stick very well on him. In this game, like obviously the Echo isn't like he's not playing very well and he's behind in your head. So you could maybe get away with the Dustblade, and if Yasuo is the one who goes to split against you, then the Dustblade you just one shot him with it. But the thing is like if you go Cleaver, like in the flow of this game specifically, if you go Cleaver or you go Dustblade, this guy's still not going to be able to split against you until like way later, right? Like by
Yeah.
the time you get like Dustblade or Cleaver, regardless, he won't be able to split against you. And once you get the item after that, you know, you'd probably get them like 2 and 3. Obviously, you just bought Hex Shrinker. We'll talk about that in a bit. But like if you go like Dustblade Cleaver or Cleaver Dustblade, the Cleaver speed and HP makes it safer for you if you get into like a multi-person skirmish. And regardless of what item you build after, whether it was Cleaver or Dustblade, you're still gonna win against both of them, right? So
Yeah.
it's just better to go Cleaver because it's safer here. And also because if you ever get into a fight with a Mumu who's already stacking armor, you'll actually be able to kill him. Whereas if you have Dustblade and you don't have the Dustblade damage, you probably will have a lot harder of a time killing him
Mhm.
because your lethality is just not going to be effective on him. So you go Hex Shrinker here. This is like the safe choice, but I just
Yeah.
don't think it's worth it because um, it's kind of worthless against trying to assassinate like a Caitlyn. Like not worthless in the sense that like the AD is not gonna be useful, but it's like you could have gone for like a better item and it fulfills the same purpose as Hex Shrinker because all Hex Shrinker accomplishes for you against like a Caitlyn or like whoever you're picking off is just the AD at this point, right? Because you're the 1v1 against Echo, it shouldn't be close, right? You should just be destroying him in the 1v1. You don't need the Hex
Yeah.
Shrinker against him. If you find like you need it later because the 1v1's getting really hard, or if you think like that you're trying to team fight and you're getting destroyed by a Mumu
Yeah.
magic damage, then you can pick up the Hex Shrinker. But I don't like this Hex Shrinker buy just because in the flow of this game right now, you don't feel threatened by the Echo, right? You don't feel threatened by a Mumu, right?
No.
So there's no point in buying Hex Shrinker. You might as well buy another Serrated Dirk or like a BF Sword or like a Phage, so you can snowball your lead further. There's no need like there's a lot of times where I'll say like yeah you should have just gone Hex Shrinker here because like your head and the Hex Shrinker makes it so that you can't like die at all. You don't get there's like no chance for like the Syndra or the LeBlanc to outplay you. But in this case, you're so ahead of the Echo already that you can literally just build straight damage, and there's still no chance. I won't say no chance, but there should be no way that he ever fights you. So it's
Yeah.
like going the safe build here isn't even really safe. It's kind of just like hamstringing you from like getting more damage.
I did that because I thought, well, because I knew landing phase was about to be over, so we were gonna team fight, and they have 3 AP, and I just didn't want to die to be honest, because I was 6-1.
Uh,
But yeah, I guess
ju-
more like a phage would be better, probably.
Yeah. Just in general versus team comp though, like I don't think you should be even trying to team fight. You know, like you look at you're gonna get you have to dodge a Mumu ult. You can't really ult this guy in a team fight. You can ult Caitlyn, but you're gonna get polymorphed by Lulu. And if you get hit by a Lulu ult, then Yasuo can ult you too. And it's just like there's a bunch of shit you have to get through. Whereas like if you split, like maybe in the closer game, like yeah, like you can't really split because it's hard. You can't really kill Echo if he's good or if he's like ahead of you. But like in this game neither of those apply and like you don't have to worry about like so many other things if you're splitting.
Yeah.
So just like splitting in this game is just better than team fighting. I think yeah, like I'll say this right now, team fighting is like the worst thing you can do in solo queue because it's the least consistent. You know, when you're 1v1ing, what do you have to worry about, right? You worry about
Yeah.
yourself and the enemy champion. When you're team fighting, you have to worry about okay, if I go in on X and X, then I have to make sure like if I go in on the Caitlyn, I have to make sure the Lulu isn't in a position to polymorph me, or I have to make sure that if I do get polymorph, I can still kill Caitlyn, and I need to make sure that if I do it, I'm away from a Mumu unless I have QSS because if a Mumu ults me, then I get chain CC'd and then I die instantly and I don't get my ult off. Whereas like in a 1v1, it's like okay, I need to make sure Echo doesn't get to ult my ult properly if possible, and if he does, then I need to do this, and it's like oh, that's so
Yeah.
much less to worry about because if you're in a team fight, then you have to worry about that. And also you have to take into account like, is my team ready to follow up here? If this happens to me, then can my team win the fight anyway if they use these cooldowns on me? And can my team kill this champion if I put damage on this champion? It's just like there's so many variables, right? And
Yeah.
you don't get to control any of them, right? If Hecarim's hands fall off in the middle of the game, you can't do anything about it. Like, there's nothing. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, if you just split, it's like, well, I 1v1 the Echo, and I need to make sure I play 1v1 properly, and you just like, well, and like I said earlier, it's like you take into account his ultimate, etc. But that's way less to have to worry about than like everything you have to worry about in a team fight. You know, maybe Lucian's win trading, and every single team fight you get into, he auto attacks 2 times. You know, like there's so many variables. Like obviously, I'm using like extreme examples, but like I'm just trying to tell you like it's less
Yeah.
consistent to team fight for like precisely those reasons. So this fight is really odd.
Yeah. I don't know. It ended up working out for us, but
Yeah.
I probably should have ulted the Lulu, not the Mumu.
Okay, so let's run through this fight. What happens here? Okay, so they're on Herald, you're rotating over. So they go on Hecarim, you notice they're coming now, so you start moving over. Unfortunately, like this is something, in this case you don't have a choice, but most times when you're going to a fight, if you're this close to level 11, um, just shove the wave and get your 11 before you go, because the difference between your level 1 ultimate and your level 2 ultimate is pretty enormous. So if you had the extra
Okay.
time, just like, and you notice that, like same thing with like if you're level 5 versus level 6, or like it's just like level 11 is like a more significant one than like level 9 and level 10. It's like that's like a huge spike for you. Like obviously level 9 to level 10 is still a spike, but like level 10 to 11 is like a bigger one. And if you ever have the
Yeah.
chance, you're really close, you know, you maybe I don't know how many minions are off here. It actually looks like a little more. Probably need like half the wave instead of like 1 or 2 minions. But like if that's something you identify, like I don't need to get here immediately, or like if I get here a little later but I have my level 11, it's more worth it. Then that's just something that you should think about when you're like rotating this stuff. Okay, so Hecarim ults out. I'm moving away
They didn't
still.
even grab the rift. That's funny. They didn't
Yeah,
get the
haven't
Herald.
haven't gotten it yet. So
No, they don't get it in
just
general. They just leave it there.
okay.
Oh no, they did grab it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Lulu gets it. Okay, so I
Did I
don't
miss?
I
That's
don't
full Q.
I don't agree with how you approach this team fight because one, this guy ulted, right? So he's
Yeah.
already like way less useful like in a team fight without his ultimate. He's not got
Yeah.
a lot of mana. He's got no ultimate. You know Caitlyn's bottom, so she's not gonna be in this fight, and you know, well, this guy's fucking dead. So there's gonna be 3 people that are in this fight, right? Who's the main
Mhm.
threat here, right? Yasuo.
Yeah. So.
Yasuo.
Mhm.
This guy, and the thing is, you don't have vision of Lulu, I believe, right? Yeah. So you don't even know where Lulu is. All you see is these 2 people, and ideally, like the only way Lulu would come was she'd either come this way or she'd come this way
Well, I
to the
saw her
fight.
mid, so I know she.
Okay, yeah, she's coming
So,
this. Okay, you saw her mid, so you know she's coming this way. So the thing is, like, she's gonna be the person if you don't get a kill here. She's gonna be the one who stops you. So it just makes even more sense to go on Yasuo because Yasuo is the furthest from the Lulu, so you'd have the most opportunity to put damage on him and try to kill him before like the Lulu inevitably comes and polymorphs you. Like you know it's gonna happen, right? It's eventually
yeah.
she'll make it and she'll polymorph you. But when you go on a Mumu, she gets to you so much earlier than she gets to Yasuo.
Mhm.
So it's just a better play to go for Yasuo for like multiple reasons, not just like the
Yeah.
fact that he's the biggest threat. So mechanically, you miss a shuriken
Hmm.
there out of the 3.
Did I?
I think you missed 1. I think you hit 2, um, and you get knocked up in the air, so you don't get as much damage on the ultimate as you would like. Obviously, you're also level 10. Really good combo on the back to get Yasuo there, and really good that you don't commit to dying to him. Your Gragas plays the fight really well too and saves you.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not much else to say about this fight. You kind of just clean up a Mumu on the end with your Yomus. Pretty normal fight. Like I said, the only real the difference is you should kill Yasuo on higher priority there.
Yeah.
It's kind of lucky that he just kind of sits in your shadow and gets comboed there because
Yeah.
there's not even a guarantee you would have killed him otherwise. So yeah, ends up going
That's
very
another
well.
thing I don't think about what I'm gonna do because after I ult him, I'm like, why did I ult this guy? I can't kill him.
Yeah.
Just went for the Yasuo.
Okay. So you've got not that much gold. Once again, like a good amount, but not like necessarily need to recall. It's up to you kind of thing. So let's turn vision back on. So you're walking. So you're very indecisive here about what you're doing. Kind of just responding to what your team does, which is fine. You know, it happens at least some point in every game because you're not going to be on the same page with your team. Um, what I will say though is if you want to go get that top wave for an item or whatever, you walk to it and you just backping your team because your team doesn't. Obviously your team isn't going to be on the same page with you all the time. You know,
Yeah.
but if you communicate like what you're going to do, then it becomes a lot simpler for them to make a decision because when you're sitting in that bush and you're like walking up and down but you haven't crossed to like this point yet, like the Baron, they don't really know if you're just like looking for someone and like waiting for like something to happen mid or if you want to go top. Whereas if you just ping like on my way to top or if you back ping mid or both
Yeah.
ideally, then they know like okay, this guy wants to go farm the top wave, so we'll back off middle because it's very often in solo queue and like especially the thing you said at the start, like you get fed and you lose and you don't know why. A huge reason of that is probably because if you don't communicate with your team to make plays to make plays with you and not make plays when you're not there, then they're gonna throw like more often than not. But like the way you should look at it is it's just as much your fault for not telling them that you were leaving or telling them that you were not there and them fighting anyway, then like it is their fault for taking the fight in the first place. That's the way you should
Yeah.
look at it. Because you're the only one who knows exactly what you want to do, unless you communicate that to your team. And it doesn't have to be typing. Like pinging is fine. Wow, that guy just ulted back. Very interesting. Okay, so what I would actually do here is I would just take it back and sell your refill, buy whatever item you want. Either go for finishing Hex Shrinker or buy a BF sword or a Phage for your cleaver and your Dustblade. Whichever one you want, and just go split bottom. Because you're at the point in the game where there's absolutely like zero chance you should ever lose a 1v1 in the bot lane, and top lane turret tier 1 is still up. And Gragas doesn't win against Yasuo 1v1. Or like if he does win against Yasuo 1v1, it's not in a point where he can like kill him and then take the turret, unless the Yasuo like goes full retard. So the best thing you can do right now is create pressure for your team bot lane so they can get this top tier 1. Because the way, if you don't really know what to do on the map, basically just look at like all the tier 1s as like an objective. Like you already have bot tier 1, so how do you get top tier 1? Either you rotate over or like your top lane, or you kill the Yasuo. And it's just safer because your bot lane doesn't want to be bot, because if your Lucian goes bottom alone, then he just dies to Echo. And if Lucian goes with Sona, then they just put people top and they kill top lane. So the best thing you can do is, because you're so strong at this point, you go split bottom, you pull 2 people over, your team gets top turret. If Herald was up, they could get Herald too, and you just do that. It's a little that's the general thing of what you should do. It's a little different in execution here because Dragon's coming up. So what you actually should be doing is you have a lot of gold. It's not like as bad as the early game where you had 2,400, 1,400 unspent. But you want to be spent before the Dragon fight, because the way this game is gonna end up, the way this game is going is you're gonna have to team fight. If they're grouped this early before the Dragon spawns, they're gonna fight you at the Dragon. That's basically what you seeing 4 people here means. So you don't necessarily need it in this case because you're already so far ahead of everyone. Like you literally haven't spent all this gold and you still spent more gold than Echo just because you're so ahead of them. But just in general, ideally, you want to spend all your gold before objectives come up or before you start committing to like a split push, just so you're strongest when you start committing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as this dragon is off the map as an objective, though, you should be splitting bottom. But right now, it's a little less bad because the dragon is coming up. And I believe that's fire dragon, too, so it's very important to fight for. If it's a cloud drake, then no point.
It's ocean. Look at the wall.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was just the color. Okay, I thought they were different colors. Okay, so it's ocean. So it's actually not super important to fight for either at this stage of the game. Oh. It's fine. Play around the edge of the fight. Okay. Not gonna go over that one in half speed. It's basically exactly what you should do. You go and you use your cooldowns, and then you back up, wait for them to come back up. That's fine. Nothing really much to say about that. So what I will say is, like, you're wasting time right now.
Yeah.
Like, you need to either, if you want to go back, you go back, you buy your item, and if you're not going back, which you should in this case, you have way too much gold now. Now you got another kill, and this wave, like, you can't kill the turret on this wave because, like, they're gonna rotate too fast. This is, like, the perfect time to recall because ideally what should happen is someone's gonna go get this wave. You don't have ultimate to kill them, so you should just go back. You go back, you buy your item, you come back with all your gold spent. You're gonna have, like, you're fucking 7.8k. You're gonna be 8k when you recall. This guy's gonna be 5.6k, 4.7k. So you're basically 2,500 gold up on him. Same thing with this guy. You're even more gold up on the Yasuo, and you go in with like a 2,000, 2,500 gold lead, and you start splitting on them, and there's nothing they can do. Even with if a Mumu comes, there's a pretty high chance you can just outplay because this guy went Cinder Hulk instead of Runic Echoes, so he has no burst. So yeah, you should just be creating pressure on the map for your team, getting splitting bottom. Because your team, like, should be able to get the mid turret, like, without you. Like, you can stay for the mid turret here, but, like, ideally, like, they should just be killing this turret without you.
This was just pure greed by me.
Because, like, you got a lot of gold on you. Like, you still have, like, to put in perspective how ahead you are, you have 2k on you, and you still spent more gold than this guy. Like, you're massively ahead right now. So, you get a free dragon here. If you don't recall after this, we're gonna have a problem.
Nah, go kill Caitlyn.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yikes. Okay, so he sees you.
Pretty sure.
I don't even think your
Wait,
ultimate's.
what? She didn't see me on the ward? What the fuck?
I think she did see you on the word, but she tried to walk around. I don't know what her thought process is.
Okay,
She,
well,
she, def she definitely saw you on the word, actually. Like, not. No
she could have
chance.
lived, but I mean, shit. Okay.
Just ignite. Oh, okay, now, yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, either one is fine in that case. Honestly,
I
I
didn't want
probably.
to take my fucking kill.
I honestly probably would have saved the ignite, but whatever. It's not a big difference. So once again, this is just
Yeah.
pure greed. Like, it's greed that's gonna work because you're so fed, but it's like, in a closer game, like, this is a terrible play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, you play what you're given, but like, it's just good to identify at the same time, like, what is like smart play and what's not a smart play. Don't be like, don't be result based when talking about like what's a good or bad play. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so you're working on Dustblade now. I think that's definitely the right play. You're not even remotely threatened enough to try to go for Maul at this point.
Yeah, no, I think that's my last item. I finished it last. What do you you think it'd be better if I went BF Sword Phage?
No, because then you delay your. Then it gets really
Okay.
awkward because you don't have slots anymore, right? You don't even have a
Yeah.
slot for Control Ward right now. So if you went BF Sword Phage and you took. Basically, if you go BF Sword Phage, that means you need a back with either 2100 to finish Dustblade, or you need a back with 1750 to finish Black Cleaver. And you don't want to, like. You don't
Or
want to.
solo D shield.
Or sell D Shield with like 1600,
Yeah.
then it's like inefficient, you know, like because
Yeah.
D Shield's a good item to hold on to even until it's later. So just like no, yeah, this is better than BF Sword Phage because you always want a slot for a control ward if you're splitting. It's really nice. So you choose to split top here. It's just not the better play because they can collapse on you and not lose anything. Whereas if they collapse on you bottom, your team gets the turret and also potentially Baron later in the game. Ends up going okay because their team is really slow to rotate. This guy doesn't get off red buff, and this guy was really late over, so you get the turret. But
Yeah.
it's still.
Well, I saw them fighting mid, so I was like, I don't know. I guess I thought it was a free mid or top turret, and I don't know. I took it.
Yeah. You can just put more pressure bottom, so your team can get the top turret without you there. And like the thing is, when your team gets the top turret, and when you're like pressuring bottom, like you can't pressure anymore, right? You can't realistically go for this turret, right? You can't.
I mean, if I dive him, but yeah.
But like,
Realistically,
look,
yes,
yeah,
I can't
yeah,
pressure that turret anymore
yeah.
because they're gonna come top.
But if you were bottom, right? If you're bottom, and if this was reversed and you were bot lane right now, right? Your team, they send these 3 people over to rotate to your middle, and your team gets Baron. But
Yeah.
if you're doing it top, this guy can come up to you and kill you, and what is your team gonna get, right? There's no mid. Okay, maybe they get mid turret,
yeah.
right? But like, you're gonna get mid tier 1 like sooner or later anyway, because like even if they send people to you bottom, you still get mid turret, right? Whereas like if they
Yeah.
send people like just that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Man, I'm not trying to argue, but like you say that, but when shit like if I went bot, like 90% chance my team would not Baron, even though it would be free.
I mean, it's just about communicating with pings. Like,
Well,
this is
I ping it, but you know.
this is like a thing I'll tell you. The psychology of League players is if you're feeding, no one listens to your pings. But if you're fed as fuck, everyone's gonna listen to your pings. Like, that's
I mean,
that's
that was
a thing.
not true this game, sadly,
Okay.
but yeah.
Most of the time, like
Most of the time, yeah.
if you're fed like that, people will listen to you. Especially if you're typing too. If you say like, "Hey, I am going to go bottom lane. Yasuo and Echo can't 1v1 me, so they're gonna have to send 2 people. Set up for Baron. When they send 2 people for me, then do Baron or turn on them to fight 4v3. And if they don't send 2 people for me, I will kill them and I will keep pushing. And then you guys play off that. Like, obviously you don't have to type out the whole thing, but just like take the gist of it. It's like, yo, I'm a split bot. If they send 2, do Baron, etc. That's all. Like some people are just like some people are really just dumb. Like you can ping, but they still don't understand. Like so. If you have the time, just walking out of base, just like type it explicitly and like, yeah, like there's some people who are still so dumb that they still won't understand. But like,
no,
at
that happens a lot where they just.
I mean, at that point you just lose, like, or at that point you just come team fight. Like, you at least want to give yourself and give your team like the chance to play off it. And if they clearly have no idea how to play with the split pusher, then you just take the L and you try to team fight. But like, yeah. Your team is gonna get mid turret for this, but if you were
Oh,
bottom, like
death. Wow.
if you were bottom, then like you still would have got mid turret. And the transition play bottom is better than the transition play top. Okay.
I could have won that, but when I
Oh,
was running away, if I would've waited for energy, I could have eaten killed him, but I went in too early. Fuck.
don't even worry about it because in the ideal world, you don't even have to worry about that because you shouldn't be making that play anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, don't look at it like that. Like mechanical misplays are gonna happen. If you were a mechanical god, then you wouldn't be in the CLO. Like, don't worry about like everyone fucks up mechanically. Even people D1 master, it's you can fuck up mechanically all the time. It's just about like putting yourself in a position where you don't have to rely on your mechanics to bail you out. Okay, so you finish your Dust Blade. So now you should go bottom. Like, you don't really accomplish anything middle here. Like, you can sweep through here, but it doesn't really do anything because your team, like this guy's got a sweeper. It's his job to sweep the Baron area, not yours. So once
I
again,
wanted revenge.
it's just
Nah,
like
this was another greed
yeah,
play.
another really greedy play. Yep, it's good. So
I could have lived there again as well.
yeah,
Fuck, man.
once again, those aren't what matter.
That's where I got tilted, and then I started fucking losing.
Okay. I'll just say right now, I think it's fine to use shurikens before your ultimate, but I don't think you should ever use your E before your ultimate. I think as soon as you land with your ultimate, use your E. Don't use it beforehand. It's like, unless you need the slow to like catch them or something, and you like
Okay.
get like 2 autos after the E and then like ult them. But like, if you're gonna just like E and then ult afterwards, just like save your E. There's like no.
Well, look at what's the? I think it's 1.8 second CD though. What's the?
Let me see. Yep. I 2.5 because you don't have
Okay.
cleaver yet. I think
Yeah, Cleaver, it's
I think once you
1.8.
I think you have I think once you have cleaver it's fine, but before
Yeah,
cleaver then
but yeah,
you shouldn't be.
makes sense.
Because if you E'd afterwards there, like after your ultimate, you would have just died cleanly. You wouldn't have had a shuriken at the end.
Yeah. I mean, if I just went back, I didn't think he would die, but he would have. I thought, cause I don't know. I should have went bot though.
Yeah.
That wave is like massive and it's free tower.
Yep. Also, like, if like there's no like if you got to fight Yasuo and you didn't have to rush it because you know no one's coming, then you wouldn't have even it wouldn't have even been close. Like the only reason this is close is because you rush to dive in because you know people are gonna come. But
Yeah.
if you're bottom and they come, then you get something out of it. Whereas here it just escalates into a fight and it's a bad fight because the most fed person on your team is you and you traded yourself for the 2/6 Yasuo. So obviously, like the fight
Yeah.
isn't gonna go well. Like you're not so ahead. Like the rest of your team isn't winning to the point where like if your gold advantage, which is 3.5k or almost 3k, almost 3k, like
Yeah.
2.8k right now. That's the gold difference, you know. So if you take yourself out of the equation, then it's a straight up team fight, and you basically do you want to trust your team with a straight up team fight? Hell no,
Nope.
hell no. So don't put yourself in that position where you have to
Yeah.
trust them. You know, that's basically what you're doing.
Yeah, I got tilted there, but yeah.
Okay, so you pick up Phage here, working towards Cleaver, which is good. And once again, like you're not going bottom here.
Yeah, I cannot believe I didn't go bot.
Because like you can. So here's the thing. There's like the thing I just want to say right now. Like you can say like I misplayed this, I misplayed this, I misplayed this, I misplayed this. But the thing is, at the end of the day, the biggest thing that would have changed up to the point in this game is just literally just right clicking bottom instead of right clicking top.
Yeah.
So like that's why I don't harp too much on like all these like if I just went to shadow here, if I didn't miss a shuriken, if I ulted this guy, yeah, it's good to point it out. You know, it's definitely good to point it out so you don't make the mistake again. But that's rarely going to be like what decides the game until you
Yeah.
get to like you're playing against like players who are like really good, like diamond, at least like diamond 3+. You know, not even like diamond 5. Like just good decision making and like good like no like not even like good macro play, just like standard like macro play, just like going bot instead of top when you have split pressure so your team can make a play on the other side of the map where there's more objectives that are important. Like that alone like would have changed the scope of this game already so much, you know, regardless of the fact that you didn't need to die top twice, you know, regardless of the fact that you didn't win lane as hard as you did. Like all of that is irrelevant. Not irrelevant, but it's not the main issue with like how the game is progressing right now. If that makes
Yeah.
sense to you. That's why I don't like to talk too much about like all that mechanical like whatever, because at the end it really doesn't matter as much, you know. Oh god, this
Yeah.
is really greedy. Oh god, yeah. Like yeah, there's no need to make any of these plays.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even
Yeah.
need to tell you. You know yourself. You know.
At that point, I was just full tilt, fucking trolling basically. But
Okay. Um, so. Whoa. Go. So team takes a bad fight. 5 people alive now, and yeah, it's not really much you can do about this Baron. You can try. So I think it's actually the right play to try to stop this here. Mainly just because if you go bottom here, best I'm not even sure you get this turret. Because it's full HP. They have Baron recall after. Same thing here, full
yeah.
HP. Not full HP, but like it's such an easy rotate from Baron that you can't kill that, and your wave isn't there. This wave is pretty big. You could have taken this wave. Like the only one you maybe get is this one because they'd have to kill the Baron first and then Baron recall or TP. But
Yeah.
because there's no like real turret to trade for the Baron, I'd say if you can guarantee a turret trade, then go for it. But because you can't even guarantee that, and because at this point you're already giving up all your shutdown gold, I think it's fine to try to stop this, even though it means you die.
Yeah. I hated this Echo. He's so cockblock. I couldn't kill him because he just ult back, but.
Go.
I just got CC'd and then couldn't move. Ulted. Q'd.
Yep.
Ulted. Yeah.
Really not much to say about that. I mean, you waited for Gragas to go in first, which is exactly what you should have done. You just got a Mumu ulted because it's a Mumu ult. You got CC chain. It's really
Yeah, we
not much
got
to say
everyone
about
except for one Baron, so
wow,
that's
that's
not
really
bad.
unfortunate. Wow, he almost had Lucian too, or Lulu. That really sucks. But yeah, not really much to say about that or change. You buy Kino Gem, you sell your Doran Shield for that. I think that's fine. The CDR is more useful than Doran Shield at this point in the game, and you're working towards Cleaver.
And I get
So
like triple the HP from the gem.
yep. Once again, not pathing bottom.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Yep. Like a lot of this, like this game does a lot of this game, but I'm sure like a lot of this could be broken down to the fact that you just didn't utilize your split push pressure. Like at this point, it's hard to say. Like it's a lot closer. Obviously, they have items now. He's got armor. This guy's PD and mallet, and he's working on IE. Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
like a clear cut. Like I go bottom, I pull 2 now, but it's like it's still like statistically probably like your best play because once
Yeah.
again you isolate a 1v1, and that's what your champion excels at, right? So.
Yeah, if I would have went bottom instead of dying top twice, I probably could have had inhib tower at least.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Big team fight.
Most of these fights late game, I just couldn't do anything. Because this is the last fight I actually did anything. Because I would just get movement ulted into combo, and I would just die.
Okay, so let's
And-
walk through this fight. Let's go one more back. Oh. So there's only one Baron, so it's on Lulu, so not really much to worry about as far as like Baron stats before this fight starts. Caitlyn does have a GA, so that's a point of emphasis. But pretty normal fight overall as far as like no bonus stats anywhere, bonus like, things to worry about. Okay, so I don't like this ultimate, and basically I don't like this ultimate because you can just put your like earlier like you just put your QE combo, you start autoing him, and then once he tries to leave, then you can follow him with your ultimate, right? But he was stunned there, and because like your ultimate has a cast time and travel time, the second you land with your ultimate, he's not CC'd anymore, and he starts dashing away, right? And it becomes a lot harder to hit your stuff. Whereas if you just hit him with like autos, you QE'd him there, and then as soon as he starts dashing, you follow him with your ult, he doesn't really have anything to dash to anymore unless he flashes, and then you can start putting ult damage on him.
Why did I shadow out? What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that one. But, yeah, shadow out, also a mistake. It's
I
good.
missed all my Qs.
It's good to after you use like initial burst of cooldowns on a Zed to like exit the fight momentarily while you wait for cooldowns to come back up and you let your team like frontline for you as you re-enter. That's something you have a really good sense for. Like you've done that pretty much every fight now, but it seems like you kind of do that by default. You know, there are some fights where
Yeah,
like you do like this, like where this is a good play, right? If a Moo was like right next to Yasuo and you're trying to predict his ultimate, or like
yeah,
there's like a Caitlyn who's like autoing you, or like Echo W is coming, this is a good play because you get out of the danger and you re-enter the fight once those cooldowns are used. But you didn't need to do it in this fight, obviously, because like
yeah,
there's no one putting threat on you.
yeah.
So come back in, but you don't really get much damage on the ultimate because you exited the fight for a little bit. So you wait for Yasuo ult, and then you re-enter here, and then you just go ham the rest of this fight, which is exactly what you should do because your team is just frontlining for you really well this fight. Like
Yeah, I could just auto attack
Yep,
them
yep,
and
huge
make them.
presence, and because Lucian's not getting threatened either, even if they commit cooldowns onto you, Lucian and the rest of your team will be able to clean the fight. So this is
Yeah,
really clean fight, outside of the fact that early on you were playing a bit too subdued, when there really wasn't threat on you at that point. So
yeah,
it's good that you identify later on that like, oh, like we're just deathballing them, we're just rolling through, right? So you didn't bitch out there, you just committed to the fight even when you had used cooldown. So that's good. That's really good identification of the fight. Just make sure you're like using your escapes once like people are actually like threatening you.
yeah. That was I don't know. I was scared. I guess I don't know why I W'd out. No reason for that.
Okay. So this is a situation where I just be spam pinging the inhibitor in the turret and back pinging my team because there's absolutely zero reason to fight here. If you
Yeah, I was spam pinging top turret
Yep.
because of the huge wave.
Yeah, you stay here and fight, then they come up and they kill your ass, and you just wasted that good fight that you had. Whereas if you don't fight, you just hit the turrets, then not only do they not spawn in time to defend this, you also get all this for free. Um, oh god. This
Yeah,
is
I
a
back pinged this so many times,
Yeah.
but they didn't listen to me.
really awkward fight. Cut.
I hope you didn't Caitlyn actually.
Fight actually goes really well. So let's run through this.
I feel like Zed falls off now.
He does.
I don't
He's always falling off.
okay.
Especially against teams that are good at forcing team
Like,
fights.
I mean, like season 4, he didn't really fall off. Like,
Oh, he fell off. He just didn't fall off as much. Um, especially because nowadays, like Locket is a thing.
yeah, there's so many fucking
Yeah,
shields for Zed.
Redemption is a thing. Like peel supports are a thing. Before everyone just played fucking Alistar and shit. There's no like innate shields. Now there's like a bunch of shields and stuff. This is the nature of it. Also, the Zed's been nerfed. And yeah, so you just combo through. The beginning of the fight's a little awkward because you don't think your team is going to start the fight, so they cut this way through diagonal through the turret
Yeah.
afterwards, whereas you go around. There's not
So,
really
you
much.
know, I didn't want to fight there, but
Yeah. There's not really much to say about that because like, that's just a thing where you guys are on a different page, so this happens. So the rest of the fight is fine. You sweep through here, you combo through, you go straight for the back line. A little scary because there's polymorph. She actually ends up polymorphing the wrong target, but you get out scot-free, and yeah, it's a pretty good fight. You know, it's about what about all you could have done with the situation. Not a Mumu.
I don't know what the. Oh, we didn't even kill him. Wow, okay. Oh, we did kill him because he went back in. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I died to the turret. Wow. Okay, I forgot about that.
it's fine. Once again, that doesn't really mean anything. It's just a trade. So
So, if you look at the builds right now,
Yeah.
can you tell who's gonna win off the builds? Actually, no,
It's
never
really
mind,
not.
'cause their team had like 3 GAs, and I told Lucian so many times to build GA, and he just never built it. I feel like that's such a big reason why we lost is because we had no GAs and they had 3, I think.
If you're
By the
team
end.
fighting, yeah, it's an issue. Against his team though, like eventually Yasuo can split versus you, but like I think you still have a chance to outplay it. So you never really have to team fight versus team. I think in a team fight you guys can win, but like
My
I don't
team
think,
always wanted to fight. That was the issue.
yeah.
They just forced fights
So-
when I back pinged, and
just from this game yesterday, like I don't think like you guys ever have to fight. It's kind of like
Yeah.
if you want to fight, like you guys are the ones who, unless you guys get hit by fucking a Mumu Q, like you guys never have to fight unless you want to fight. So yep. So you finished Cleaver here. You're working. What the fuck? PD.
Yeah. PD Titanic Hydra build. I sell Hex Shrinker.
Interesting. Um, let's
I
see.
mean, it's you
So
get 3k HP with it, and you can burst still. You can burst more than with like Hex Shrinker.
scope of the game. So let's see. So it's kind of hard for me to gauge like whether it was like the correct item or not because I don't know what you want your goal to be. I think if you're splitting, then that's fine. But
Well,
if you're
yeah, it was to kill the Caitlyn because like,
so you're committing to team fight,
well, because my team would not fight, like would
then
not stop fighting. So yes,
so in this case, this is why I'm asking because in this case, I think you should build QSS if you're gonna team fight because it's very hard for you to maneuver a fight without QSS because you're gonna get like it's even if you don't get hit by a Moonwall, there's like a 90% chance you're gonna get polymorph if you go on Caitlyn, right?
yeah,
And that's a long time, even with Merc Treads, after you ultimate that you're not gonna do damage. And late game, like Caitlyn doesn't need very long to kill you, right? Just 2, 3 crits, you're out of there, right? And that can happen like while you're in polymorph, especially if you get hit by like a net or you get hit by like a trap in the polymorph, right? So you can kill like these 3 items: Duskblade, Cleaver, Yomu's. If the Caitlyn doesn't get peel, you can kill her with those items throughout like the whole game, right?
yeah, yeah.
You don't really need like 5 like damage items to kill her. Which is why I'm asking like if you're gonna split push, I think you can go PD Titanic because the Yasuo scales up really heavily and the Echo scales up really heavily, and eventually they're gonna be a threat to your split once they catch up to you in gold. So I think if you're committing to split, Titanic and that is fine. Because if you get hit by like Yasuo ult, or if you get hit by Echo stun, then you misplayed already, and the QSS is like not like you don't need it up because if you're playing in a way that like you're trying to 1v1 them properly, the QSS shouldn't even be necessary. But if you're going to team fight and you want to commit to team fight, whether because you think it's the better play or because your team refuses to do anything else, then I think you need QSS to team fight here.
Okay.
That's about it. Okay, so catching the top wave here.
And the reason I go that build, well, at least LL Stylish, you know who he is, I'm assuming, correct?
Yep.
His analogy on it is it helps to not fall off because with Titanic you're tanky, 3k HP, and
Oh yeah,
you can
I definitely
pretty
think that's
much
good.
burst any. You can like 1v1 any tank, anything really. You can kill anything basically with it.
I think in this situation, I think there's that build, and then in this case, like usually these 3 items are pretty core, right?
Yeah, I always get
Pretty much
those.
everyone builds these 3, and I think that's fine. I think that's what we're supposed to do. I feel like there's 2 things you can do. You either do that build to finish off your build, or you get like GA and whatever, like either like Sterax are a little bit tanky, or Titanic are a little bit tanky, or you get QSS with the GA. I think that's like completely fine too because in most cases, you know, after you get popped to GA, right, you just W out and you've like GA kind of like it kind of makes you like it doesn't make you a tank, but you can frontline with it if that makes sense because like
Yeah,
you don't have to
I
worry
end up
about
selling.
yeah.
I end up selling boots for it.
Yeah, so I think while I understand the merits of like the Titanic PD build, like I've played with LL Stylish and he's done that build with me. Like I understand like the thought process behind it. I just think like it's rarely like I think it's very rare that like every single game like that's like your end game build. I think in most cases like GA is like super important on Zed just because the nature of your champion like you're gonna go really deep and you're not always going to be able to get out. Whereas like with GA, you buy your team so much more time because like if you get into a team fight right and you get dropped by the Caitlyn and you don't get the kill on her for whatever reason and you're in this GA stasis right, she still can't walk past you to go help the rest of the fight right because she has to kill you in your GA. So that just buys your team like even more time. You know, how
Yeah,
much time does Titanic Hydra HP and like Phantom Dancer like buy you? Like you know, I don't think it's
yeah, it's
buying you
not.
I don't think it's buying you like 5 seconds, right? And I don't think like Titanic Hydra PD makes it so you can go like so much more deeper into a fight than you can with like GA. You know, that's just kind of how my take on it is.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying that the build is bad, and I'm not saying like you don't ever do it, but I just think like GA can fulfill like a lot of the same thing as that build does. Okay, I don't think you needed ultimate there, but it's such a low cooldown at this point. I don't think it's
Yeah, it's 40 seconds.
yeah,
So.
I don't think it's a really big commitment, so that's fine. If you thought you couldn't get out of the W, then that's fine. Once again though, like
I
splitting
did that
top
so they
here,
wouldn't chase me.
splitting top here, it's like, eh. You gotta be really careful. I
Yeah.
don't really like you going up there without your ultimate there, because at this point in the game, like you can take it, like this guy can kill you like without your ultimate.
Yeah.
So like, there's no need to even risk it. You can just like, not necessarily take a base, but like, actually no, I would probably just take a base.
Well, it's almost up. I'm basically trying to delay for it right now
It's
at
like
the moment.
it's like 30, 35 seconds at this point still. It's taking because of a pause and the replay sucks. It's not actually
Oh,
like
okay.
at this
Never
point.
mind.
It's like 30, 35 seconds right now.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
the,
yeah, I was trying to delay for the ult, my
yeah.
intention.
And then
Yeah.
like, cause these like once again like you're also splitting top. You know, like if you're splitting bottom here, there's a turret to take and there's Baron coming up that your team can pressure. So it's like. There's no like you could try for a little bit there because your team is bottom. You know, you fish for the echo there, but as soon as it doesn't happen, it's like, well, you just tell your team like I'm gonna go bottom, you guys go to Baron, right? Because it's just more, it's so much more productive to do the reverse because you can't solo Baron, but like 4 people on your team can kill the Baron.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to be top instead of bottom, whereas they're bottom. Okay, so you're just going for the outplay here. I mean, it could happen, but
It does happen.
yeah, it's kind of just like a.
That's where the crit came in. I would have been dead if that didn't get the thing.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a why take the risk, you know? Like
Yeah.
if
true.
he kills you there, like your team can't push anymore. So because just talking about the flow of like how it happened, you know, you did get the kill, then you're pretty free to push here. Your ultimate should actually be coming up like relatively soon now, but your team died as 4 bottom, so you're pretty limited in what you can do here. So just take the.
Sad thing is I can't actually kill her.
Yeah, you gotta just take the reset here because your team couldn't isolate a 1v1 for you. So yeah. Yep. So just go back here. Don't even risk fighting him. If you healed a little bit more up with the red buff, you could fight him. But at this HP, it's a little scary.
That scared the shit out of me when the fucking Baron spawned. I was not expecting that.
So you're seeing here, you can just continue to recall. There's not really much they can do about it. Yep. Buy your PD here. Okay. And please go bottom. There's a chance.
Because we knew we knew they were doing Baron. That's I don't know.
No, they're not doing it.
Well, they were trying to do Baron. Sorry.
Hecarim, that's like Hecarim's job to like just know if they're not on it. So okay, pathing. Okay, so if that was actually like a threat, then yeah, you can path up here at the start. But once like you know they're not on it, then you should be going, especially because there's a bot wave coming.
Well, okay. I mean, I just didn't want my team fighting and just dying and then giving Baron and then losing the game.
I mean, you don't have to commit to the push. You can just do a wave and then walk over because this like.
I mean, that is a long walk though.
Regardless, like you have Yomu's. Regardless, is like this
That's
wave.
true.
Someone needs to clear this wave, and like if they don't go to Baron immediately, then you just walk up. And if like regardless, you have options out of that play. So fight starts anywhere. Let's see what happens.
It was unlucky. I fucking ulted as soon as Echo ulted, I ulted back, and it was fucking inside his ulti and it killed me.
This fight is a mess.
And Echo's got a penta, so now he's worth. Now he's full build basically, shits on everything.
Okay. So let's look over this fight. It's a long fight. Okay.
I feel like I just went too ham on this fight instead of just playing backline and just waiting for a good opportunity to dive their backline.
Okay, so how does it even start? Okay, he like field goals it. Hecarim wants to fight.
Hecarim engages every time he gets a chance.
Okay, so I really like this. I think this was a really good use of Shadow. I think that up until this point, this fight is really good. Because basically, what you've done with the Shadow is, as long as you don't take it, they have to respect the fact that you can just go snap to your W and then go into R. So you've isolated their front line from follow up from the back line. And if this like basically this Shadow stays out for another 2-3 seconds, right? And that's all you really need to take these people out of the fight. Because your Lucian, like you have basically 4 people or 3 people hitting 2 people, whereas you're zoning 3, and
Yeah.
that's not even taking your tanks into account. So this was really good from the start.
I think I took that. No, I didn't. Okay.
So what
Oh,
I
you
don't
take
like,
it?
yeah, you take it way too early.
That was way bad. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
terrible.
Because like I don't think taking it is the problem. I think taking it as early as you did was the problem, because you could have waited till the very last second to take it, right? And you would have created so much pressure. But
Yeah.
as soon as they see you take it, then they know that it's not even like a threat anymore. It's just like a he's here, we kill him right now, kind
Yeah,
of
my
thing.
thought process behind that was, I think if I did it, can you rewind like 5 seconds?
What are we? 33, 40. Okay. Come.
When I did it, I think if I took it, because I wasn't, my plan was to kill the Lulu with an auto attack and then ult the Caitlyn, because Echo can't stop me from killing Caitlyn. And even if I die, my team will clean up. It's a 2v4. So
The reason I
that
don't
was
like
my thought process.
okay,
Process.
I understand
But,
the thought process. The reason I don't agree with it is just because Lulu can just ult and then polymorph you, and then you don't get the kill.
Yeah.
And then you're dead, basically. Well, you're maybe not dead, but you're not in position to fight anymore, because this guy has 3 item at this point, 4 item at this point. Like he puts like 3 or 4 autos on you. You don't have GA armor, you don't have Tabi armor. It's hurting you like a lot. It's like to the point where you can't really fight properly. Like I don't disagree with taking the Shadow. I just disagree with how quickly
Yeah.
you took the Shadow. Because like if you're gonna do this play, you either like, and the same thing with your thought process, like you either do it instantly before they can
Yeah, I
react,
should have.
or you just wait till the last second. You know?
If I did it instantly, I think I would be able to surprise the Lulu, kill her, and then.
Yeah.
Because that's an auto time at E
Yeah.
will kill her 100%. And now she's too far, and she.
Yeah. It's too
Does
far, and yeah, you don't get the zoning
Yeah,
power
definitely.
anymore.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, exactly what happens. You get ulted, and then I don't think you polymorph you, but the ult is
No.
enough to not be able to kill. So you go strictly on a Caitlyn here. Gets
That's
huge
good.
locket shield. Yep.
Yeah.
Huge locket shield. You W away. So she chases you forward into it.
She
and then-
flashed.
Yep. As soon as she flashes, you know, take the ult back, and then you just get that ulted. So that's
Yeah.
just that's about it for the fight. You know, like either if you're gonna do that Shadow, you want to go for the one shot. I don't agree with it, but if you do it and you do it instantly, and then you can catch them off guard, you get the kill, then that's fine. But if you are gonna go
Yeah, I
for that play,
hesitated.
you can't hesitate. You know, it's gotta be
Yeah.
instant, or it's gotta be delayed till the last second to catch them off guard and zone them. I just
Yeah.
think it's better to delay it to the last second, because if you delay it to the last second, it's still hard to react to, and you've zoned the rest of their team the whole duration of the Shadow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
either
do you
one.
think Lucian should build GA in this game?
Next item, I don't. Is build okay? What Lucian should have built is he should have built either Tabi or Trez instead of Greaves. He should have built
Yeah.
PD instead of Death Dance, and then he builds IE and then GA, or GA and then IE.
Yeah.
One of the two. Death Dance is useless in this game.
And do you think Hecarim should have GA? Over probably.
I don't know if he should have GA, but he definitely shouldn't have Thornmail. That's about it. I don't think he necessarily he doesn't need GA. Unless their whole team builds GA, he doesn't need GA. This is Lucian.
I'm pretty sure Echo builds GA, Kaylin builds it, obviously, and then I know Yasuo builds it.
Echo
Pretty sure
builds GA? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really weird with new GA. Okay, so what do you buy?
And then at that point, I just couldn't kill anyone because Lulu would just save them, and if I got to them, they would have GAs, and I couldn't do shit. The only way I think I would have won that is if I ended earlier by pushing bot lane.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You don't people talk about Zed late game and shit, or you get if you kill Caitlyn, you get 90 AD or whatever. that's like Zen late game is like the last place you want to be because like
Yeah.
in the mid game and stuff, like before everyone finishes Locket, Redemption, Ardent Sensor, like Mikhail's,
Yeah.
before like
Free
people
kills.
get like 500, 600 AP. It's not the best thing in the world to team fight, but like you were like just even an example from this game, you were team fighting okay. You know, it's like it's not at the point where like if you go into a team fight, it's a Lulu ult into a Locket shield into a polymorph into you don't kill anyone. That's literally what happened in this fight, basically. But
Yeah.
like basically like exactly what happened actually. You get like the Lulu ults, the polymorph comes, you go on to Caitlyn, there's a Locket shield, and you can't kill anyone. But like whereas in the mid game, like especially in like this fight where you just clean up everyone, they don't have
Yeah.
those cooldowns of those items yet. You can roll through people. That's why like it's so important that you are going bottom lane to like
Yeah.
accelerate the pace of the game because this is the
That's how it
last
is with
place you want to
Diet.
be. Yeah, this is the last place you want to be. Regardless of like whatever build you do, like you don't want to be in this stage of the game because once that lock gets done, once that redemption's done, once that GA's done, like your job just gets so much harder no matter what item you have.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna speed through this part because there's really nothing to do at this point. In this point in time for you.
Do you think he was greedy to take both buffs?
Um, Blue buff is yours. Red buff. I think if Lucian built properly, he takes it. He's actually like pretty important.
Well, he
to these
said he didn't
fights.
want it, so.
Oh, if he doesn't want it, then yeah, take it. That's fine. But blue buff is your.
Akram was like,
Blue buff should be
fucking
yours.
report this Zed fucking trolling, taking all my buffs. Like,
Blue buff's yours at this point in the game.
yeah.
It's actually really good on Zed.
I don't understand how people in this elo have played for a while don't know that fucking blue gives him energy regen. No one fucking knows that.
I mean, even if people know, it's more of like a they don't understand. Cause like, just like I've heard this for a lot of people. It's like they know it gives energy regen, but they're like, dude, like mid laners like don't need like mana regen at this late of the game because they don't understand like the proportionally like energy regen is way different than mana regen. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have Lucian, you don't have Hecarim, so this fight is already like fucked. Don't initiate this.
Oh, no, my team loves initiating.
Don't go in. Okay. Don't go in. There's nothing to go in on.
Yeah, I can't do anything. That's the stupid part. There's nothing to do.
Oh, kill this guy. Oh, that guy's insane.
Yeah. Doesn't matter, he's got GA and Lulu.
Finish him off. Oh,
He lives
stop
because
ulting.
fucking Lulu. No, he dies. He dies. No, okay. Red buff didn't kill him.
Okay, I like this ultimate. See, this is where QSS would have been so nice, right? You wouldn't have died
Yeah.
there. And, like, imagine this fight with you alive, right? Imagine this fight with you. You can maybe even end the game, like, off this.
Yeah,
If you're
actually,
alive here. If you had QSS instead of Tiamat, you would have been alive right here. For sure, for sure. So,
honestly, it would have been fine if I just got GA.
that,
it
yeah,
would have also been fine.
GA is also fine, exactly, yeah. They both
I should
allow
have
you to
sold
team
boots for
fight.
Titanic.
They both allow you to team fight. Because at this
This,
point
this is where it all crumbled.
at this point in the game, we can identify like there's two things. One, you might not be able to win the split anymore, and two, your team clearly wants to fight all the time, and you've clearly identified your team wants to fight all the time, so you're going to fight. And at that point, like you should switch up your build. Like PD is not very useful in team fights. If you get the crit off, like it's nice, and if you isolate someone, like it's not useless, but it's like, would you rather have PD or GA in a fight? Right? It's a pretty obvious answer.
I'd rather have PD and GA because
Really.
I wish I didn't get Titanic because how am I supposed to kill the Caitlyn without attack speed at this point with all the shields?
Well, I don't even think at this point you should be trying to kill Caitlyn in fights. That's the thing.
Or anyone at least at this point.
I think at this point you just go front to back. Like you just kill the Yasuo and the Amumu and the Echo when they go in.
Okay, well, so how am I supposed to kill a Frozen Heart, Thornmail, Tabby, Amumu without attack speed?
I mean, you're not alone killing him, right? Like
Yeah,
your
but,
team is
like-
killing him with you. You just provide supplemental damage. Like you don't need to, like
I feel like if I got GA
no.
Titanic, it would've been better.
This is what I'll say. If you want to do front to back, then you build Phantom Dancer. Like if you just want to hit whoever's in front and help your AD carry, and if you want to help your AD carry, just go target to target, then you go PD for the damage. But you're saying you want to kill Caitlyn, and if you want to kill Caitlyn, then you need GA. because you're not gonna kill Caitlyn by yourself, like regardless of what you build. Or you should never ever kill Caitlyn by yourself regardless of what you build. Because she should be getting peeled off to the point where it doesn't matter. And you're going to need like your Hecarim and your Gragas to go in with you to kill her. And if you have GA, then you can stay in the front longer waiting for them to come help you. Like,
How much gold do I have? Do I have enough for GA if I didn't
yeah.
buy Tiamat? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I feel like if I didn't get Tiamat and got GA instead, it'd be way better.
Yep. Or even QSS, you know, like either one.
Yeah.
Is fine at this point.
I hate this. I backpinged this so many times and I still did it 4v5.
It's getting out of your control. Like, I'll talk about it after.
Yeah, no, I'd die here.
Yep.
No, I don't actually. Never mind, I don't die.
I don't think it's a mistake to go for it, but there's really not much you can do at this stage of the game. In that scenario, at least.
Yeah, my lead's basically gone now.
Yeah. Yep. I think you're buying Titanic here. Yep.
At this point,
yep.
Oh, they always have a GA, at least on one of them.
Yep.
Up every single fight. One of them has it, and it's just like, oh my god. And now they just end, basically.
Yeah, you can't even go in. Yeah. This is what I'm saying about like why I think the GA is good, because like you're looking at the. I'll just show you actually. Like, you look at this situation, right, and you clearly know enough to gauge the fact that you cannot go in, right? Like, you're looking at this and you're like, I can't go in. I can't go in. You're not, like, you look at that and you know you can't go in. But, like, if you have GA, like, you can go in. Like, you might die after, but, like, with GA, like, you can afford to try to go. But, like, at this point, like, no other item really, like, lets you, like, go in, like, regardless.
Yeah.
That's why I say, like, you get, like, QSS, you get this GA, and then you at least give yourself a chance, you know? Like...
Yeah. I mean, Kayla does, like, two-shot me now because she is Elder, but, yeah.
Yeah.
GA would help.
And yeah, I'm just gonna speed through. It's like, you're just kind of... not much you can do now. The game is just dictated by the other team. I mean, is there anything that happened here? Let's see.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's anything you can change here. You go in, try to kill Caitlyn, get the GA.
Man, if I got the auto off, it'd have been nice.
But yeah, not much. I mean, he has a GA. He has a GA and a Lulu. It's like, you know, what do you do?
I mean, I still killed him at least.
Yeah,
Killed him.
you get the GA, but it's like, yeah, nothing else to change.
It doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
And then, fucking, I think, yeah, Sona decides to 1v3. Some point. I guess it's later. But the decisions people make, I don't get it sometimes. I mean, I make the same ones, but I don't understand.
Oh, that's actually a winnable fight. Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe not anymore.
Pretty sure we win this one.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, because Gragas comes. Lulu wasn't there, and I just killed Caitlyn for free, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I didn't have Titanic and PD there, I would have died.
How do you guys not end here?
I don't know, actually.
You have no wave. I mean, I think Gragas could have tanked.
It is 2 towers with a Lulu polymorphing. So, should I have backed or should I have went mid?
I think you back there. I think backing is fine. Because you're not really healthy. You have double ocean, but I think it's still fine to back there. Because at that point you're so far behind, like, your team, but like by the time the inhib's dead, they're probably like leaving already. As long as you come to the Baron after, which you looks like you are, so that's fine. Hey, you guys should just get Baron here.
Yeah, we get it. I don't know how. I mean, I guess I know how, but I cannot believe I actually lost this game. So it went fucking bot. This would not have happened.
What did you buy? Wait, what did you sell? You just
I
sold.
sold Hex Drinker. I never finished it.
Okay, yeah.
And I sold Hex Drinker and Boots, and I get GA here.
Okay.
And then Tank Pot.
Yep, that's good. That's good that you know Tank Pot's better than Red Pot. That's like one of the things that people don't really know. Tank Pot is like light
And
years
it's
better
50% or
than Red Pot.
50 or 50% tenacity. I don't know if it's a percent or not, but
It's 35, I believe. But like, yeah,
because Boots.
it's
No, actually, I don't have Boots anymore.
you don't
Never
have
mind.
boots anymore. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's really awkward.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. I'm not dying.
Yep. At this point, like you can actually still go bottom at this point because
Yeah.
you're kind of built to like 1v1. Like Titanic, like PD, like it's really hard to fight you in his silver lane. Like regardless of everything this guy has, I think you can actually still go bottom and fight the Yasuo or
I
the
don't
Echo.
think anyone can fight yet.
I don't
I'm
think you
pretty
lose.
sure I
Yeah,
beat
I'm pretty
in the
sure you don't
1v1.
lose. And there's still a turret here. Like, and you
Yeah.
guys have Baron, right? Like, if you're bottom here,
God, why did I go bot?
it's so much pressure.
Instead we go top. I couldn't do anything this fight.
Yeah,
It's
you
so
can't.
sad.
That's because it's like, what are you contributing in the siege, right? You want to save your W for the fight, and if you fucking maybe you combo Caitlyn, right? But it just gets life stealed up, like she's full build.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
it's like instead you'd be right here shoving this way up to the turret. They have to take a bad engage. They're only like, so here's the thing about every fight that's happening. Your team is engaging them. That's never
yeah.
been a point where like they hit like the god of Moo bandage into a 5-man ultimate, your team just gets wiped, right? That's literally not a single fight is happening like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single fight is your team engaging. And the thing is like when you're with your team, that gives them like the confidence to like, oh, we're 5, like, and we have Baron, like Herder, let's engage, right? Like
That's true.
if you're bottom, then like maybe like the mindset changes, you know. When you're
Well, I feel
there,
like,
it's like
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like,
obviously
I
like,
told him chat like at least 20 times we need to stop fighting and engaging. But you know,
yeah.
I guess yeah. If I would went bot like 30 minutes ago, I mean, it'll be way different. But
I mean, it's definitely different now because it's not like a guaranteed win in the split, but it's like, you know, it's still probably the better play in this case. So, oh, it actually happened. He actually had advantage, like the first one all game.
and then I have no energy. I have to flash out, and I just die. I just stand there because I actually can't do anything. I have no fucking energy, and it's so sad. And I just die to Caitlyn.
I mean, and here's the other thing, right? Let's say the exact same scenario plays out. Like the Amumu hits the bandage, gets through everyone, hits it on the Sona, 3
I
man
get
ult to
inhib.
engage. Yeah, you get hit. And if
And I
they
could even get Nexus
yeah,
Towers.
if they, I don't know, I don't think they end here. There's still too much longer in the game, but like, if they commit to this fight, like your team pretty tanky. Like you have 2 fucking frontliners and an AD carry with a support who's healing and putting shields on the whole fight. Like you can
Yeah.
get inhibitor and stall out the game even longer if your team does that. You know,
I would at least got inhibitor off
at least
that if I
inhib,
just
maybe Nexus turrets, and you know, like maybe like your team plays it differently if you're not there and they like stall longer. Maybe you even end the game. You know, it's like.
yeah.
It's a possibility. It's like not likely, but it's like a possibility. Whereas like you just come to this fight and like what are you honestly doing in these fights, right?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was I did probably less damage than Sona that fight.
Yeah.
Completely useless. And then Sona, now, yeah, here she tries the 1v3 or whatever she does and dies, and then this game.
Okay, so you sell your boots back for GA. I mean your GA back for boots. It's fine.
Yeah, because no point in having that anymore.
Yep. Okay. It's
So
whatever.
I don't know why she, like, I don't,
It doesn't
where's
matter.
the logic in that?
Doesn't matter. I'm focusing on. We'll talk about it. Like this replay is about to end. I'll go over it. Okay. Oh, dragon up. So it looks like this is the last fight.
I think this was the best play I could do at this point. Just try to pick the Yasuo or anyone who comes off. But Lucian got picked and then they all collapsed on us. And it's like, well.
Gragas is
tried.
even here. I would have honestly just ulted Yasuo immediately. It probably doesn't change anything, but if he doesn't know you're there and you just ult him as he walks by, then I think it's a better opener than
Yeah.
W.
100%.
Just for like when people face check you and you ult them, I think it's just like the best opener you can do. Or maybe like
Yeah.
E auto. If they like directly face check you, then like E auto into R. But like if they're like walking by you, then like auto like and
Yeah,
you're
I
not
didn't want to
close enough.
waste it,
Yeah,
but it's like 40 seconds, so why?
yeah.
It's
Why
no
not,
reason
right?
not to use it.
Especially because like it's so important. Like it's time is of the essence on that play, right? Because you know like their team's coming to Elder, right? There's no reason for them
Yeah.
to be anywhere else. Like if you don't do that fast, then that happens, right? You just get collapsed
My
on.
ult's gonna be up before I fucking respawn.
Yep. And I think they just end here.
Yeah, they just end off this, because nothing we can do.
Yeah. Looks like you make it up for
Hey,
like
that
one more
Caitlyn
fight.
build, Triforce? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he sold boots for it. It's like a boot substitute. It's not terrible.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point not to at this point. She doesn't need boots. She can just sit back and Lulu will heal her. Or shield her, at least.
Okay, so this isn't even a fight you're in. So, okay. So, I'm gonna say this right now. It seems like you're the type of player who you get very emotional. You get very emotionally invested into games. Especially, I guess this one's more in particular because you had the chance to impact this one so much because you were so fed so early, right? Um,
Yeah.
if you feel if you're still thinking about the game before, or if you feel like tilted at all, just stop. Just stop playing. Like the worst thing you can do. Like I'm sure you hate. Judging from just when I'm talking to you, I'm sure you hate it when you get that guy on your team who like he comes into the game tilted, or he comes in and he picks a champion, doesn't play, etc., and you lose because of it. You know, don't be like that guy. You know, if you're, it's perfectly fine to get upset over a League of Legends game. I'm not gonna be one of those guys like, dude, why are you upset? It's fucking League, and you're like Plat. Like, no, because when you invest like time into like getting better, like obviously you come for coaching, you want to really get better. You're investing your money. You're playing like League of Legends is a big investment. You know, like it's a lot of
Yeah.
time to get good and shit. I think it's completely fine to get upset over like losing League of Legends games for whatever reason. You know, maybe like your AD carry for whatever. You know, whatever reason. I think it's completely fine to get upset because that means you care. What isn't good is you become upset and you bring that mentality in your next game because then you're just screwing yourself because you play tilted, you're going to play worse, you know. And even though you might not feel tilted, if you lose like 2 games 3 games in a row, just stop, just like walk away, go play a normal, go play ARAM, or like go play another game for an hour, like I don't know, go outside, take a walk,
Yeah.
whatever, just cool off because like it's very real, you know. Even like I'm sure you felt it. Maybe you win, maybe you lose like 2 games and then you win one and then you want to play another because you're like, oh, I gotta get my OP back. That's not what you want to. That's not the mindset you want to be. Your mindset should be you play your best, you try to win, and if you win, then sick. You know, you don't ever want to like you lose like 2 3 games, you win one, and then you're like, oh, I'm not tilted now because I just won. No, you can still definitely be tilted, especially because you're focusing more on like I have to win, I have to win, I have to win, and as soon as someone does anything that stops you or makes it harder to win, then you just jump on them. Either like in your head, you just get like, oh my god, I always get fucking inters on my team, or like actually in the chat, you start typing to your team, and that doesn't accomplish anything either. Like
Yeah.
I think it's completely fine that you're invested into the game. Like if you're not invested into the game, and like I think that's actually like a problem. Like it's like if you don't really enjoy the game, you don't get upset over losing. Like it's nice, but it's very rare. Most people, you know, it's natural to get upset over games. And this one in particular is a fucking 50-minute game where you were very fed in the
Yeah.
first place. Like that's fine. It's just make sure you don't let that carry over into like further games because like you just lose more, and that it's just even worse situation. So as far as like recapping the game itself, lane phase, you, it's kind of hard to gauge too much about your lane phase because you did get a lot of Hecarim ganks and you kind of just snowball off that.
Mm-hmm.
You're very roam heavy, like I said earlier. Make sure you take into account your golds, what the enemy response play will be, and what you'll lose when you roam before you execute the roam. Roaming is fine. I think it's good on Zed. It's a great way to snowball. It gets your lanes going. Just make sure you take into account what you'll lose and what you'll gain when roaming, and take into account like how important a base would be to you versus a roam if you have gold on you. That's a
Yeah.
very important thing. It's good that you identify like that roaming is like a thing. There's a lot of people who never know when to roam. You're like halfway there. You understand roaming. You just need to know like when it's a good time to roam and when it isn't a good time to roam. So you can take that. As far as your 1v1 laning, early on, same. It seems so long ago now, but
Yeah, I mean, it was, what, 50 minutes ago?
when you're whatchamacallit? Um, Early in the lane, especially when you're playing against push champions, make sure you're using your Q in a straight line rather than on the range
Yeah.
creeps. And make sure you get to lane early and just start spamming Q immediately to push away, get your level 2 spike, E versus melees, W versus range, and start to poke immediately. When you're playing against Ahri, Echo, etc., who have a skill shot that pushes the wave and can harass you at the same time, make sure you stand away from your creeps so you don't give them both. Make them choose between the two. If you're playing against a champion who's got like a skill shot that gets blocked by minions, then you play dependent on like what you're afraid of. You know, if you're afraid of the Ahri hitting charm on you, then stand like in a way where like still like in a way where like her Q can't hit you and the minions, but don't stand like out to the side so much that like she can charm you for free. But like against
Yeah.
Echo, there's really nothing to be worried about. You know, like if you're off to the side, he can't do anything special to you. So there's no reason to not stand off to the side against him. So that's the things I saw that you can clean up about your laning. You weren't really in lane too much, and a lot of times you were getting ganks or getting ganked. So not too much I can take about your laning, but that's from what I saw. That's what from what I saw. That's what I'll say. Um, Go bot lane when you're splitting.
Yeah.
that I'm sure you know at this point too. Don't
Yeah.
want to harp too much about that. And the mechanical misplays, like I understand you seem very confident in your mechanics. You take a lot of these 1v1s. When you take those 1v1s though, I just want you to think about in your head like whether it's worth it or not. You know, gauge whether you
Yeah.
have a lot of gold, gauge whether like the percentage chance of what you win of winning the 1v1 is, and gauge like whether like you'll get like gooned on in like the 1v1. Like are people going to come here like if I go for this fight, and if they do come, what can my team like get out of it? Like is it worth it? You know, sometimes I'll be splitting and I'll know someone's coming for me, but I know that if I don't all in, they're not going to come stop me. So I take the all in knowing someone's going to come for me so my team can get something on the other side of the map. And but
Yeah.
important thing about that is communicating it. Make sure you're pinging, and make sure if you're going to split bottom, as soon as you're walking to bottom, when you have that downtime, just tell your team what you want to do. Like if they need 2 people for you, tell your team they need 2, and be ready and tell them they need to be ready to respond when they send 2. And I'm not gonna say you should never team fight, especially like mid game. I think mid game team fighting as that is actually very underrated. I don't think you need to split, although you can split, especially in this game. You definitely could have split, but if you want to team fight in the mid game, I think that's fine. Just make sure that you communicate that to your team, and make sure you build to team fight. You know, if you need the
Yeah.
QSS, just bite the bullet and get the QSS. You'll do a little bit less damage, but you know, there's a lot of situations in this game where it would have helped you out a lot, especially against targeted CC like you were facing in this game. You know, you can't outplay polymorph. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
just buy the QSS. You know, it sucks. I know, like everyone hates buying QSS, but it's like sometimes you just need it, so you get it. And that's about it. Do you have any last questions before we finish up? Anything?
Well, I have this other demo.
Oh, do you mind if we do it another time? Because this one actually went like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fine.
So like, it's already paid for it and everything. So it's like, I have multiple sessions set up for the weekend already. I can. The availability is still on my law coaching, so just pick any of those, or just message me and I'll tell you if it's available.
Okay.
I was down to do 2, but this game was like 50 minutes, so and like I said earlier at the start, like I just go as the replay gives me. You know, it was 2 hours, so it was 2 hours. I don't coach past 10 normally, so or 10 my time, so I can't do the second one today.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah. Anything before we finish up?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, just we'll get something worked out about when we're gonna do the next one,
Yeah.
and yeah, just start. A lot of the stuff I saw, like you can implement that like pretty fast. You know, some people it's more complex. Some of the stuff that they need to work on, like it's just like they don't understand like minion waves or stuff, or like they don't understand like basic like fundamental stuff. But like most of the stuff I see, it's like you're a little too over greedy sometimes. You're laning. There's some things that need to be cleaned up. Um, and obviously like going bottom to split and create pressure on the map. Like
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff, like you can clean it up pretty fast and start implementing that pretty quickly. So I don't think it's bad that like we have another session. Like I'd assume you want to do it like relatively soon. Like you can hold on to it like for a week, 2 weeks if you feel like you need time to like digest this before like jumping into another one. It's completely up
Yeah.
to you. But yeah, like most of the stuff I saw, at least from this replay, obviously I didn't get to do as much about the lane phase. Usually, like the lane phase stuff is what's harder to implement because you learn a lot of habits just laning. But for most of what I saw here, it's stuff that I think you can implement pretty quickly, and it'll improve you like pretty fast. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll see you around, dude.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, that was a long ass session.